Alright, so now we are officially live and we can click resume and get started. So last time I was working on this situation here with these gigantic squares. Now I have these squares in place and I don't know if I grab this blueprint, it doesn't have the drone port in the bottom right. So I need to just rebuild it, I guess. How do you click this without going wrong? Maybe like go over here? No, that's even that far over still gets one. What if I start there? Oh no, I am supposed to get, I think, both of those. Yeah, I don't want to save a blueprint that's just like a single rail. So I think, supposed to go out to like here, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Do something like that. And it'd be nice if I could remove those. How does this work? Because all that stuff is part of the other blueprint, right? Yeah, okay, let's just grab it like that. And it's kind of annoying to have this stuff in here. But it's also hard to get rid of because it's all train tracks overlapping. So we can right click to remove and get rid of all of that. And get rid of all that. And all of that stuff. And then we just have to do the same thing down here. Wait, are those train tracks not set up properly? Yeah, there's a power line right there. Alright, good thing we noticed that, or that would have caused problems elsewhere. So the power line can go there. And then the train tracks just all go in like that. Alright, now let's try. Now let's try to do this properly. So if we do that, and then we very carefully get rid of all these extra curvy bits. Ooh, not that one, or yes, that one. Yeah, that's correct, I think. All those are parts of the other blueprint, which we don't want there. And we call this train square. And create the blueprint. So then this is... I believe that's correct. Actually, I think the drone ports aren't fully square, but that's probably fine. So then, if we paste this one right there, then it would also line up and hopefully work. All right. So what we need to do first is get the drone ports in and connected up so that all the rest of this stuff can be built with those drones instead of my handheld ones. So I'm just gonna stand next to this drone port real quick. I don't know what's going on with all of these power lines. Was there just another power line naturally there beforehand? That might be the case. Alright, it seems like nothing is coming in to fill in that roboport. So let's put it in manually. Alright, and we need more train stops, apparently. And for whatever reason, this wasn't smart enough to dismantle these power lines. So let's do that manually and put the train tracks in. So there we go. So I guess they're working on the drone ports. The drones that deliver them are just very far away, I guess. That's fair. Alright. So this is all getting started. And it's not the fastest construction job in the world. It'd be nice to have, I guess, the drones be more local as opposed to having to travel all the way across the map. But that shouldn't be a huge problem. Also, they seem to be taking down rocks and carrying away massive amounts of, like, coal or something. Which I don't think I want them to be doing. Alright, let's stand here and get my own personal drone port to do some of this stuff. Alright, so those are all doing what they need to do. And we apparently need even more of these somehow. Which it feels like I should have enough by now, but I guess we'll keep crafting them. And actually, is there... I have 2 small personal roboports in here already. I could maybe squeeze a 3rd in, but not easily. Yeah, let's do that. It's gonna be worth it probably. Where is that? It's this. I need iron gear wheels, which means I need iron ingots, which I should be getting deliveries of at some point. So we're just gonna, there we go, get some deliveries of those. It says this total requires 100 iron plates. And we are up to 96, which means, yes, we can queue that up. And it's obviously going to take a lot of manual crafting, but it'll work eventually. Alright, so now we have 3 of these whole setups. The next thing that I need to do then is I need to actually start using these for something, so I need to hook this up to some resources, put some machines in these, and then get started with that. Also, laser shooting speed has been on 99% for a suspiciously long amount of time up on the research side of things. I suspect that something has gone wrong there. So I'm just gonna pop down there to see what's going on. Don't want to walk too fast or all these poor drones will... Oh, it looks like they may have given up already. Alright, so let's head down and through all this stuff to see what has happened with our research to cause it to stop at 99%. Alright, research, where are you? A bit more to the left, I think. Alright, so we have... What color research does this need? It has 4 colors of research. Are we missing blue? Is blue a color of research that we're supposed to have? Yes, blue is a color of research that we're supposed to have, which we don't. Alright, blue research. Where are you and what is wrong? I actually have no idea what or where blue research is. Is it one of these up here? No, I don't think so. Is it probably like over down near the end of the bus? Let's try that. Now, which of these belts would it be on? This belt is suspiciously 100% empty. So let's follow this belt back. And it comes down from here. So we are missing red circuits. We have sulfur, we have engines, we don't have red circuits. And let's see, red circuits are missing green circuits. We have plastic, we have wire, we don't have green circuits. So what has gone wrong with green circuit production that has caused it to seemingly completely stop? We have no copper wire. We have no copper wire because we have no copper. Alright, so this is a problem that's just going to go all the way back to whatever is going on with this copper train that I tried to set up. Let's just stop here and receive these drones briefly. Don't want to get them all confused flying across the planet. Plus we might need some of the stuff they're bringing. Alright, that should be enough waiting that if there's anything truly urgent, they'll have it. Now let's go down here. So you are just chillin'. Why are you set to care about coal input? Copper input? Alright, well we're going to set that to ore, so at least something happens. I don't even know what is full means in terms of like, does it just mean there's a train in there? Alright, so this one is set to ore copper input is full. So we do have a supply of copper coming here, which should be fine. Again, this should keep the old factory running again. And it's going to take absolutely ages to use all this. Actually, no, we're burning through this pretty quickly, honestly. Alright, no, now it's all backed up, and we're using it as fast as it's being produced, or we're putting it in as fast as it's being taken out, basically. So that should be fine. That should get the factory up and running again. And we should get like the literally one more science probably needed for laser shooting speed. Yep. Green circuits are getting produced. And that should all filter through until it's functional again. Alright. Now we have a surprising amount of yellow science has been made. That's a good sign, because yellow science is the brand new fancy kind that we just set up that I was worried we weren't going to have any of. But it seems like at least some of it is showing up. And yeah, we have even a small amount of spare waiting on the belts. So if this is 3 yellow science per thing, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So we have 34 yellow science currently. Sure, that's fine. And then this is short on, obviously, the thing that's always short on, which is the low density structures, which is this belt here. Just make sure that there's nothing going wrong with that. Alright, so this also relied on copper, so it is also going to be delayed while that happens. Also, where is it getting its plastic from? That's not plastic. That's all copper. Yeah, how is this getting plastic? Am I missing something? Oh, yes, I am. It's getting plastic from down there, and there's plenty of that. So once the copper shows back up to here, this whole thing should start up again as well. Rosalind, hello. It's good. We're doing pretty well here. We are just keeping the old factory running while we try to build up a new one. So yeah, green circuits are really pumping along now. That is good to see. And so that should get science done soon. Yep, we have red circuits, and they're going to be outputting, and then some of those are going into blue science packs. Cool. That is all operational again. Now we just have to head up. How's the stream going? Pretty good. It just started, but we are making progress. Alright, so what we need to do is, let's see, do I want to rebuild all the basic stuff that I have down here onto this system? I think I do. So let's run up here, and this one we are going to label as iron ore input, because it's inputting the iron ore into this module. And then we are going to slap down a whole bunch of electric furnaces, which I have 50 of them. Is that an automated thing that I did at some point, or did I just manual craft a bunch of them? I think I must have just manual crafted a bunch of them. I'm not seeing them anywhere in here. Although the fact that it's exactly 50... Oh yeah, there it is. So we do have that. Alright, so... Let's zoom on in. Renegade, hello, nice to see you back. So we have a blueprint for the train unloader, right? But it's only 2 things. So let's just get a better one that does 4 carts. Alright. So first we're going to need to craft up a whole bunch of iron chests. And then these go like this. And like that. Then we get all our bulk inserters in. And these all bulk insert like that. And then output to the belts. Then we power it up like that, and connect it along to actual power like that. And now we just need the belts. The making of a railway grid, yep, that's the plan. We're working on that right now. Now, as far as these go, I think just do that. Yep, I'm trying it out mostly just because I kind of just don't like buses as much. I've always found them a little frustrating to work with, but modular stuff like this I've always found quite fun. Alright, so then that can loop up. Then this goes in. And then we have these come over here. Alright, so now we have our 2 input belts, which hopefully will be fine. I don't know if we can support 2 full input belts. The turret advancing, yeah, pushing forward with turrets is very, very handy. It's a very useful trick. Alright, did I have to make a blueprint for... Is this blueprint even good? Yeah, this blueprint looks pretty solid. Alright, so let's pop that in. And just connect it up to one of these. And then honestly just connect it up to both. Because for now, at least, the throughput isn't as important as just having it officially working. And it looks like I missed a power pole in there somewhere. That's fine. Alright, so that is in. And then... Yeah, city blocks are very handy to have. So, this is all in, and now we just need to set up... Oh, actually, what we should do is go down here and blueprint all of this. So let's just call that 4 train unloader, because it unloads 4 carts of a train. Have buses running in block shape. What does that even mean? Like, aren't they just 2 different things? Alright. So now we... Actually, did I set that up right? I didn't forget anything, did I? No. It all looks good. Alright. So now we just have to load up this train and apparently craft up a whole bunch more boxes, because we really need to automate the metal boxes at this point if I'm going to be using them constantly in such large numbers. And then we have to fill the boxes like that. Walk down here so we can place them better. And then all the power poles go in. And it connects across. So now we just have to... I guess we'll just go like that, and like that, and then have this output as potentially 2 belt lanes. We have a bus running north, it turned at the water, and now we have another line running north away from that, east-west lines. Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Alright. This needs another power pole there. And then we need to take this output belt and drag it over to here. This is all a little bit weird, but this is, again, more so just to test that the train stuff works rather than really have a functional high-capacity factory sort of thing. So that should all be good. Now we can call this iron plate output. Alright, now we head over here and we call this one iron plate input. Gotta go with the standardized names, and then we take a blueprint. And is this the correct one? No, that's the wrong one. This is the correct train square blueprint. Should put that in as well, and that in as well. And also I should blueprint this to be for train loader. Alright, so then this is the wrong one, which we can get rid of that. And that goes into that. We take this and we rotate it around like this and place it in there. And now we have that. Evenly spaced is more like a plan to keep the line from being spaghetti-like. Yeah, that's definitely helpful. Alright, so this is all going to go in. And we probably need more boxes because we always need more boxes. Actually, while I'm here with these plates, can I just like make a drone setup? I'm just going to run down to the main base real quick. Maybe even this one. Just like the closest source of iron plates that I can find. And just make a setup that produces iron boxes because I need apparently a huge amount of them. Alright, so this has a whole bunch of iron plates. So let's just... yeah, this is a game about automation. Indeed. Alright, so you come down here. And we're just going to get like 2 constructors. Shouldn't need many. And you can both make iron chests. And then we output the iron chests. And stick them in a box. There we go. Now we can go here, set request, boxes, go with like 50 of them. And that should resolve that problem. Alright. Like, Bob, now you need roboports and it's more work. Yeah, roboports are a bit of work to set up, but boy, they're so handy once you have them. Like, I haven't actually ran out of things in so long, aside from the things that I foolishly haven't been automating, like iron boxes. Alright, so now we run back up to our new factory. And up we go. Alright, so we have that all attached. Now we need to power it up. And is there anything... Ironically, we could have made this factory to be the one that automates the iron plates. Let's have it just go nice and simple with iron gears. Do I have a... Is this blueprint good? No, that blueprint is awful. Okay, let's make a better assembler blueprint. So we have our input line. And this is probably just going to be not the most useful assembler blueprint because I'm just going to make it for things that only require one, only require one belt of inputs. But that still handles like 1 and 2 input items. So it should be fine. So let's just expand that out. Then come over here and drag them out along that way. Or no, actually I had a better way of doing this, like I did with the smelters. I can just do the same thing here. And have the output also run down the middle. Although actually, it doesn't really make sense to have the output go the opposite direction, because the output is just going to be onto another one of the sides. We're never going to be outputting onto the same side that we input from. And block-shaped belt lines is you can go faster on belts and you're placing them everywhere in both directions, and eventually have concrete underneath. Yeah, that's clever. I haven't really done anything with concrete, and I am wearing the equipment modifier that means you aren't affected by belts anyways, so it's not something I've been able to do much with, but Alright, so this takes its inputs from the near belt. And outputs to the far belts. If you get your trains to go anywhere, you can travel faster using those. Maybe. I feel like I just end up waiting for trains more, though. Or, like, spending time setting up the train lines. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have a way of, like, there constantly being a train near you. Which is possible, but seems complicated. Alright, so now these ones output to the near line and input from the far line. So we just get all of those in. And all of these in. And now we get to spam power poles until it works. Can I fit these like every other? Apparently, yes. And then these go down here. And that is that. Dedicated trains and stops for the character to hop aboard? Maybe. It seems like you'd have to have a lot of train stops just like everywhere for that, which, I don't know, I guess you could do. I don't see why you couldn't. Alright, so then these are all going to make gears. So we just pop all those in. And that's that. So now we just go over here. And we take the 4-train loader. And we just line it up like that. And then take this output line. And is that the unloader? Yeah, that's the unloader. Whoops. Alright, take it all out. Yeah, so I need the 4-train loader, which is this one. Alright, so now we put that one in. And then it just does the same thing again. And then this goes there. Yup, bots are great. Alright, now we just connect that across. Alright, so now we just need to get some trains and put them in. So we're going to need 2 locomotives and a whole bunch of cargo wagons. And we're apparently going to need a resupply of various things to make more cargo wagons. At some point I will automate those, but for now, not quite there yet. So let's just, I guess, run down here closer to the factory. It's just a random storage chest there. Alright, so that all come in. Alright, so here we have all the trains which are going to be loading us up. And we need way more cargo wagons, which means we need steel beams. Alright, where are the closest supply of steel beams going to be? Alright, it's very satisfying just sitting here and watching drones. I could easily just, like, get distracted and sit here watching this for, like, 5 minutes until the drones stop coming, but I really shouldn't. Alright, there are some steel beams. That's good, actually, although they seem to have stopped here for a recharge. I'm going to put a different thing in each square, keep having many things per square. So I think what I might do is I might have each square like be so the idea originally was to have one thing per square. However, if space allows, like, it wouldn't be terrible to fit multiple things in a square. Like, I have up to 4 train stations per square, so that could be like 2 inputs and 2 different outputs that happen to use the same inputs, for example. So in the square that I have that's making iron plates, I could make iron plates there, and I could also process it one more time to get steel plates as well from the same square. I haven't fully decided that that's definitely what I'm going to do, but it is something I'm considering. Alright, the drones seem to be just sort of wandering around, taking a whole lot of steel up there where I'm no longer at. Which, steel is the thing that I need, so I guess I'd better go up there and let them catch up to me. Where are they going? Why are they going all the way up there? And what are these guys carrying? I have no idea what those guys all just brought. Like copper in, wire out, also iron in, iron rods out. I think I'd like them to be more like conceptually similar. Like, you know, if I'm bringing iron ore in, I can make iron plates, and then while I have the iron ore there, I may as well also make steel plates too, that sort of thing. And like, if I'm bringing in copper plates, I might make copper wire as well as whatever else I'm using them for. But I don't know. I think we might just do 1 item per module, like in the long run. I might have, I think to start off, I might have multiple things per module. I haven't fully decided yet. This is very much like we're making it up as we go sort of thing. Alright, so let's craft up some more cars. Alright, so we should have almost enough. So we're going to have 6 cars after this, then we can craft a 7th. And then we need more iron plates. The best part is when you want 100 buildings making green chips, you can spread it over many squares. See, for me though, it feels like if I wanted 100 buildings making green chips, it would be way better just to have like a dedicated square for that. You know, as opposed to having it be all spread out. Just having it all in one nice coordinated place so that I can stop by there if there's something wrong with the green chips and see what's going wrong. Oh yeah, if you can't fit them all, yeah, then you can just place a second square of green chips, for example, and that would be very handy. Alright, we are almost... Alright, hopefully this swarm of drones should deliver the plates needed to make the 8th cargo wagon, and then I'll be able to have my 2 trains in. Stuff requires a lot of resources to build trains. Alright, so we have that crafting. And now we head up here. So, this is going to get a train. So, train, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cargo wagons. The bus is making higher throughput not so simple. Yeah, that is one of the drawbacks of the bus. Alright, so this is going to go to iron plate input and wait until cargo is empty, I guess. I need to figure out a good way of making sure that like they distribute the iron amongst all of the different things that use it. And then it's going to go to iron... Oh wait, no, not iron plate input. We don't want that. We want this to go to iron ore input, the one that's right in front of it, until it's empty. And then we want it to go to iron ore output until it's full. And then we will give it some fuel, set it to automatic mode, and now we just have to attach it in so that it can actually get to the iron ore output. And we're also going to need to figure out how to make that work with multiple trains, because as it is, like, there's going to be just a train sitting in there blocking it probably, right? Okay, so I guess the easy, lazy step will just be, we have what looks like two-way rail here from the old factory. So we can just, how do we get this? We can just have that come out like that, and then snap it in. And we have to make sure to get it facing the right way, which I don't know if these two are aligned the same. So the inner way goes to the right, which means the outer way, so that is up, which means that is down. So right is up, left is down. This one, classic, left is up and right is down. Wonderful, I'm so glad that I did it this way. Alright, so we have to just send this over to there. And we're going to have to move the power poles so that they aren't in the way. And then this has to cross over there. And then curve. Okay, so this, can we just like shift this over one back here where we have more space? That'd be much easier to do. Alright, so then that, and then that. Okay, so it's still, oh wait, the warning has disappeared. Why has the warning disappeared? Is it... Alright. Don't know why the warning has disappeared, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we just need to probably put signals on it like that, and off it goes. So that's a good start. It has found its way down to the iron ore output, and it's going to be a bit of a circuitous route. Sort of has to go around. Have we crashed into any trains yet? I have not. I have managed to avoid it so far. But yeah, it's gonna happen eventually. Alright, now this is obviously unhappy. So what's up with the signals? So this whole thing is one giant block, including that train stop. So we need to do that. If we do it with enough trains, I wonder how it would look. Hopefully it would look pretty cool. As far as the crashes go, I don't know. Okay, what's gone on here? So now you're stuck behind this train. I don't know why you wanted to go this way in the first place. Could have gone around. You could have gone around this, I think. I don't know, maybe you couldn't have. Maybe there's more signaling problems that prevented you from doing that. Or maybe there just was never an option. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. So, I'm not using this old factory anyways. Oh. Okay, so we need to get rid of all of this copper. And this is going to be a whole process, isn't it? Because there's also the boxes, which are also all full. We just need to get rid of this train. I feel like there must be a better way of doing this. Alright. Oh, I actually want to keep some of that. And now the drones are busy. Now the drones are doing stuff. So this train is in the way of this train because this train's pathing, because this was the only way down to the iron ore thing, and this train is just in the way, which means I need to dismantle this train in order for that train to pass through. And I thought this would be easier. It probably would have been easier to just find some place out of the way to park it, but we are too late now. Let's see here. I need more boxes. Apparently not. It gave me a thing like can't do something, too much stuff in the inventory or whatever. So let's clear some more of that stuff out. And now we take the rest of that out, throw it in there. And almost done. Alright, well regardless, we can now do that, and the train can pass through. It's a good thing I'm not intending to use any of this, like, sort of intermediate factory here. We also are probably going to need more storage chests to deal with all of this. So let's just place down a bunch of them there. We don't want to run out of trash storage. Alright. It looks like it might have gotten stuck again. Why are you so dumb? Oh. Why didn't you just go around? Is this labeled wrong? Yes, it is. This is labeled as iron ore output. Alright. The joy of having things be... of changing your mind on how you want your standards to go. So this is set as iron ore input. But I need to set this as iron ore output because the station outputs the ore onto the train tracks. And then I need to go up here, label this as iron ore input, and oh, I didn't want to make a copy of it. So now I need to set you to manual. and learn from my past mistakes. We're just going to drive this one out of the way somewhere. Hopefully we can find some inconspicuous place to park it, although it also does seem like it's mostly empty anyways. Alright, we can just park it here, I guess. That should be fine. We're not using this anyways. Actually, stop loading it. Yeah, I think I want to just have this also be something that I get rid of. Alright. Drones remain very, very busy doing a whole lot of dismantling. In the meantime, the iron ore output that I have down here might only be designed for 2 cars. So I might have to fix that. So much drone. Yeah, this is what happens when you have like thousands upon thousands of iron plates to send off to boxes somewhere. Yep, I mean, I just have the drones like automatically running, so yeah, so this needs to be changed. So we need to like put the station further up here. Call this iron ore output. And then we need to take that out. So now it's going to stop here, which is where I wanted it to stop all along. And now we can just set this up real quick. Alright, drones are going crazy. Maybe it's the size ups that do it? What do you mean by size ups? You have an army of drone or the 4 slots on them instead? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Alright, so that then gets powered up. And this is basically all of the ore that this thing can output anyways. And looks like our copper plate disposal is going as planned, and then at some point we're gonna have to just output all of those plates from those boxes. It's too small, can't see what your drones have. Right. I can zoom in. They sure are drones. Also, energy weapon damage is at 99%. It was at 98% just a second ago, which means it is still working. I thought it might not be, but I just saw it tick up, so that should be fine. Alright, so this is filling up bit by bit. So now we can get... Do we have purple? I don't think we have purple yet. Yes, I have upgraded carrying capacity at least once, I think. I don't really remember. So we can do this, I think. Maybe. We might not have the yellow signs for it, or the other types of signs for it, for that matter. We'll have to see. Now this is filling up. It's just about done. It's just a couple stacks in here that haven't gotten any. And from there, it should head up. Just have to make sure that this... Yeah, so this is set to full cargo inventory. It's almost done. just have to wait. I guess that should do it at this point. So those boxes are filled, which means that that one is getting access to the ore, which means that this... Yep, there it goes. Now, is it going to get stuck on the way back? Okay. It hasn't gotten stuck, but it has gone to there instead of anywhere more useful. Maybe if we go or 5 seconds of inactivity, maybe that will do something. Because if it isn't loading anything, then that should cause it to leave. But it is currently filling these boxes with ore, which I don't want it to do. Let's just take all that out. Okay, bulk inserters. Inventory is full. Yeah, I have all this ore on me now. Can you just go back in there and you get out? Alright, so now it's been 5 seconds of inactivity, so off it goes. You thought you needed more work to be done before you could get yellow science, but it was pretty simple. Yeah, I also have very, very basic yellow science that I just sort of cobbled together. It seems to be working at least decently okay. And it's not going super fast, but it is going. Alright, now did that train... See, the problem with the trains is they go so dang fast that you can't follow them. And also there's a gigantic cloud of drones chasing me down everywhere I go. We're almost there, though. Just a couple stacks left. Alright, where have you gone? Alright. Where did that train go? It's not this one, because that's the gear one. Is it... Oh, is it back down to here to refill, I guess? Okay. That might be a problem, actually. If it just loops between those two doing nothing. Yeah, the power drain isn't so much of a concern for me. Like, I have pretty good power setup. That the main concern is just running out of the ore patch and just having to go get a new one. Alright, so I need to figure out how to make sure this doesn't go to a stop like this one that is not needed to be visited. Yeah, it does slow down the mining, but I don't know, for me throughput isn't the problem. Having to stop by to get a new ore patch is much more annoying. Just trying to just minimize the amount of things I need to rebuild ore patches. Alright, so this is all going along. Alright, so now we need to make sure that this doesn't stop at that same ore output, because if it just goes to the same thing every time, then we're going to have a serious issue. I guess I could set priority. I don't actually know how priority works. Like, I actually know how it works with one train, but right, you get to go down to 40 priority. So now the other iron ore inputs should be prioritized over that, which means this should go all the way up to the new system. Alright, so that is... How long is this going to be? It's very nearly done. Yeah, it's actually just about to go, I think. Alright. So at this point, it's just like filling up these boxes, which I would rather it not do quite so much. I want to fill up... I wish there was a way of like making this balanced more. And I guess you just have to do load balancing like Satisfactory style instead of manifolding like this. Alright, still being damaged, but still no actual like destruction or anything. Alright, so the train goes off. And it goes up. Alright. Now I'm just following it on the map because I can't follow it in person. And it looks like it is going up there. It is. Alright, so that should be a success. Yeah, waiting for resources is fine as long as you're not like, you know, you need the resources to provide ammo to prevent an imminent biter attack or something. Alright, this rail signal is placed wrong. Just go down a little bit there. So now this is working and it's outputting to that. Alright, so now we just need this locomotive to go in there, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4 trains, and then we're going to give you some fuel. Oh, there goes the train. It's off to do something else. So this is going to stay at iron plate output until it's full, and then it go to iron plate input until it's empty or 5 seconds of inactivity, and set you to automatic, and I guess that's that. Did this really just move all that ore across that fast? I guess it did. Alright, so we have plates. They're going in now. And for this one, I do have it entering into the middle, so at least it's slightly better. Yeah, that is simply just a case of I placed these just recently and forgot to fill them up. Low. Productivity modules. What's the button for this? It's control space, right? Yeah, there we go. Those are in. And then we're going to run along and put them into these as well. Obviously, to the extent that we can, we need to craft more. Alright, so this plate output is not incredible, obviously. It's just one relatively short row. So let's just take this and expand it. So I think that is wrong and needs to be that. Yeah, so there's another hotkey I need to click in order to get it to overwrite the buildings that are currently in the area. It's like control click or something. Alright, so now that is all in. And apparently something in there was like the linchpin to keeping this entire thing powered. Control Shift does both. Yeah, okay. So there we go. Now, where are all of my drones? Why is this stuff not getting built? Oh, it's just been queued up by some other drone that's halfway across the planet, I guess. It does that sometimes. Alright, well, that's fine. So we're filling up this train with plates. And we're getting some productivity modules back, which we're just immediately going to place in machines again. Once we have enough for it to be worth it. Still at like 12. Alright, so that is going along. Production is definitely sped up. So we just have these last couple things going in. How is the train fuel system working? The simple answer to that is that it isn't. I've just been manually refueling trains whenever they run out, which, to be fair, hasn't really happened much, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal when we only have a couple of trains. But I think the logistics system is supposed to be very helpful for like getting fuel to the trains somehow using like requester chests or something. I think someone mentioned that that was a thing that existed in one of my previous streams. So we'll be waiting for that. Okay, in the meantime, this is empty and hasn't been getting more. Alright, I think if I just replace that with that, then it'll at least output to both sides of the belt and use it more evenly. Requester boxes everywhere for fuel loading at every stop. Yep, that's basically the plan. Alright, so that is going along. Seems like it's gonna take a while even still to fill this train. Like, we're not even 2 full cars yet. But we'll get there eventually. And we need to throw all these in. And make sure to power that last one up. There we go. Yeah, we need to fix the blueprint for the plate production for the smelters so that it doesn't have those weird gaps. It's basically fine as it is, though. The real concern is it's possible that the iron ore train has either gotten stuck again or is just very slow to fill up. Alright, so let's head down here, see if something has gone wrong or if it's just loading slowly. It's probably just loading slowly. I think I can see it. Cyan, hello. Nice to see you again. We are just about like testing the basic functionality of our new modular city block setup. And it seems to mostly be working aside from all the issues. You know, the way that things tend to work. And this, so yeah, the problem is that the iron ore output just isn't enough to keep up yet. So we are gonna need to... We're gonna need to get this set up better somehow. Ooh, there's a biter attack incoming. Let's see if I can get over there in time to watch it. Alright, very, very quick and uneventful. Evaporated pretty much instantly, and then some drones went out and fixed it. Alright, how is the drone network? Should be plenty of everything. Probably is way too many of everything, honestly. I don't know how many drones are even needed. So let's head down and see how the research is going. So we seem to be short on blue science. The walls seem like they're very important in the beginning, but like now that half of the biters are ranged, I'm not sure. Like, they're not nearly as effective. They're still probably important to have. But just deleting all the biters with lasers before they get to the walls is much better. Right, so we actually do have a lot of yellow science backup, and it is still the blue science that's actually limiting us here. Which is a bit strange. Would not expect that to be the case if things were running properly. But it is. Looks like that is the case. We can just like put another couple of machines in here, I guess. So let's clear out that space. And just get a couple more in. May as well double it. Alright, so then that goes up. And we get inputs and long inputs. And we power it all up. Copy paste it. And we apply those. And then we just put the outputs in. Power them up as well. And no, I curved too early. Actually, that's fine because it went. No, it's not going to be fine. It's going to cause chaos with the other belts. We go up one more and then over this way. So that should accelerate blue science. Any behemoth biters coming? I have no idea. I know very little about the biters aside from that my lasers shoot them and they die. So it's possible they're behemoth biters and I just don't know what they are. I also hardly ever see them because they're mostly like attacking this one corner, which I'm pretty rarely over at. Yeah. Big green ones, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. Alright, let's uncap these boxes because now I think we have the time. Alright, there comes the train. See your kills in the production tab. Production statistic, kills. Nope, we've got apparently... Oh, that's just within the past minute. That makes sense. Yeah, there sure are a whole lot of biters in here. Small biters, small spitters, medium biters, medium spitters, big spitters, and some other stuff. Alright, so that is that. Now we just need to... Soon? That is ominous. But good to know. It should be fine. They've never really gotten that close to getting through my defenses, aside from when they hit a spot where there were 0 defenses to begin with. Yeah, I couldn't really tell you what I have been doing to prevent behemoth biters from showing up, but yeah. so this is still just filling. Alright, yeah, so it also has to fill those boxes as well. All this time, this one train still hasn't filled. That is concerning. Alright, and I mean, this is like most of a full belt of plates, too. Obviously it isn't, but it's pretty close. And it is still not filling anywhere fast enough. So that might be an issue. But we don't probably need this much space. Maybe nuking bases before they get to the top tier, though. Yeah, I've also been pretty aggressive about, like, blowing up, but, like, destroying biter bases before, like, once they've been harassing me for a while. Alright, so we have this, which is going to make gear wheels. What I should really do is all of these, like, Hjorvirs are just, like, stops that I haven't assigned anything to yet. It's funny that they all ended up with the same name. Alright, so there's a lot of biters down there. And then there's this one, which is the one that's been attacking this corner this entire time. And then we have our second iron ore input down there. Is that train... Is that the main iron ore train, or is that just a random different one? Who can say? Alright, so we need to just keep expanding this base and trusting that the resources will come through eventually. Because this is simply taking ages. So now we head over to here. And what else do we need? We could also use copper in this area. It's going to be very annoying to set up, though, but probably just necessary. If we need to turn this into a whole big base, then we need all the basic materials in it. Alright, so you get set as copper input. And we do have... Okay, that continues to happen. I need to investigate what's going on with the copper trains, because that's the one where I have two trains set to, like, theoretically the same schedule, basically, and they keep having problems, so I need to wander down there and figure out if I can fix it. Also, how is power going? Let's go past minute. Still looking completely fine. No real problems there. Alright, let's head down and see if we can figure out how to make these copper trains not just wait behind each other forever. So down we go. It's amazing how the game paces the tech to make the changes feel so organic. Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I haven't had any problems with getting too far out ahead of myself one way or the other. Alright, so these trains are just doing that. Now this one, I really need it to... I really need to figure out how to make them like go to different... Oh, maybe group? Maybe that's the trick. So if I assign both of these to the copper ore group, maybe they will coordinate together. Alright, inventory. Any train changes made to this schedule will be applied to all trains in the train group, ignoring any temporary stops. Okay, sure. I guess that's probably fine. But what I need is for this train to say there's already a train dealing with this copper input. I want to go all the way up to this copper input and do that instead. So how do we get that to happen? Let's see. Maybe station is full. Oh boy, now we get stacking conditionals, and I have to figure out all this stuff. I also still do not know what this even does. Wait, did I already have that? Yes, I did already have that, and it wasn't doing anything. Okay. Yeah, I really need to... Yeah. It's funny you mention that. I have also studied Boolean logic. I just don't know how it works in this system. Will this tell me? Please have some information on all the possible train wait stations. No, it doesn't seem to say. Alright, maybe it's in tips and tricks. Train stops with the same name. You can set the train limit for each train stop to control this behavior more precisely. Oh, maybe that's it? Enable train limit 1. And then okay, maybe I have to do that. Yeah. I figured it out. So if I set the train limit to the station for 1, then if there's a train there, another train won't path to it, I think. I'm just going to assume that that works that way. And if it doesn't, then that's unfortunate. The or and placement seems poor at allowing any combinations. We'd always want or to be above and. I don't think so. I mean, like, theoretically, either one is useful. Let's go down here and see if we can retrofit this to use for stops. It should be fine. It should be fine with only 2. We might change it if it becomes a problem. But I've just realized that is extra effort that is probably unnecessary that I don't want to do immediately. And we're probably going to have to set like all of the train stops to be train limit 1. Alright, so up we go. And hopefully there will be copper ore in our new stop. Well, whatever it is, it seems to have emptied out the train because he's going back down. Which is a good sign. Now, at some point, I want to cut off... Like, currently I've just, like, duct taped my new stuff onto the old stuff. Just because that way I can get the trains over. But at some point I want to cut all of this off so that this isn't doing anything and, like, causing problems. I want this to just take directly from the resource nodes, basically. Alright. It seems to have gone to some different Actually, no, it'd be over here, right? This is the copper input, but I haven't set up the system for it yet. Alright, so let's go with 4 train unloader. And we pop that in there. And they can all go in. And I wonder if having these boxes like this is wrong. I bet, actually, we don't need all these boxes. And it would be better to do it differently. Let's... Because currently those boxes are causing a massive amount of manifolding problems, which I don't love. Alright, so let's ignore it from now and just place in the smelter stack blueprint, which we will put in Control Shift place, and we run over here, place it again. Never used the combinator stuff. Yeah, me neither. I wanted to do steel and iron plates as separate but connected. There's a narrow area in each corner that could allow underground belting between 2 modules. Yeah, that is definitely an option that I can make use of if I need to. Alright, so then we just have to connect that up, and then pop that in so that it's all connected up. And then pop that in. Oh, it seems we have disconnected some power in some important ways. So we need that power pole for those drone ports to be powered up. And then hopefully the most of the rest of this should just be a matter of waiting for the drones to fill all this stuff in. And then we can take this up here. And then this is just a nice, convenient nearby thing. Alright, yeah, let's try to do this more cleverly. So we have our inserters, which I still think I want to have a whole bunch of each of these. We have something like that. But then, instead of just running it along in one giant line, we need to basically split it into fourths. This is very much the sort of thing that you do in Satisfactory all the time. I don't know if it's commonly done in Factorio, but we just do that and that. And then if we want all this to come in from one belt, then we just do this and that. And then this goes over and connects in. And so this should load all of the trains evenly, and then what we need is we need our boxes here. So we need to put... how is this actually going to work? So I think we just need like a couple of boxes. And we still do want boxes for the buffering, but we don't want them like right up there, because then it does it unevenly. So I think what we do instead is something like this. And then it's all sort of something like, no, not that close, obviously. We need the inserters. And then I guess this goes back to there. And now we can have our buffer and also not have the trains load unevenly. Alright, so then this all gets powered up and connected across. Alright, so that is that. Next we have to go in here and fix the spots of these where I missed power when making that blueprint for the first time. So that is all in. And hopefully that'll be better. Yeah, it should work pretty well. It's something that you do all the time in Satisfactory, but haven't really had the need to do it in Factorio yet. Alright, now we need to see why this isn't. Trains on the way 0. So one is just filling and the other one is going to there. So yeah, this is still just filling up. So that's fine. And then what I want to do is come up with a way of making this more compact so that we can just blueprint it and squeeze it in somewhere. So let's just build a blueprint. Actually, let's see. We can we save space by doing this? Yes, we can. So that saves one row vertically. And we go like that. Then this, get rid of all of that. This would just go like that. That goes in there. And that one shifts around to there. And then for the boxes that are doing the buffering, so we are using this sort of space anyways, so we might as well go there with the boxes, and no, not them. So if we just put these boxes in like that, and wrap around like that, then we put all of those in, power it up, put the next row in, and okay, I guess technically that wouldn't be ideal because then that belt is going to go in there, but we can just twist it out of the way like that so that that doesn't happen. And then we can just... Oh, actually we need to get this extra junk out of the way. Okay. So that's all gone. And now we just take... Actually, we want to save the blueprint before we put more belts in the area. So let's make sure that those are all out of the way. Blueprint. and save this as for train loader. And then we can, let's see, so this is the old version, which we don't want anymore. This is the new fancy version, which we do still want. Alright, so then this one we can get rid of. And then we just have to power that on and bring this belt over to there. And so that should be all set up. If a train ever bothers to come by here and drop off copper plates, then that should work. And then at some point we're going to have to go and do that same thing for like all of the rest of the loaders that we have in here. Like we're going to have to replace that one. Alright, this... Alright, this is the original source of that problem. I don't think that's a problem with the blueprint. I think that's just a problem with this particular thing, which at one point got copied into the blueprint. Also, those signals might be a problem with the blueprint. Let's actually make sure we haven't missed anything else like that. Doesn't look like it. It also looks like somehow this still hasn't filled. Looks like it hasn't gotten... Looks like it hasn't gotten any plates in a while. De Morgan's Laws. Gosh, it's been a while since I heard the name De Morgan's Laws. Alright. So that one is manually stopped. Are they waiting to be filled? Alright, that one is doing a whole thing there. This one is, yeah, just waiting to be filled. Nothing to worry about. Still being attacked. Still being attacked, but again, not a problem. Logistics system is 68% done, which it's been crawling along. It'll get there eventually. In the meantime, let's replace this loader with the better one. So all that goes out. And then we pop this in. And it has to line up like that. And just like that, I guess. Then this belt goes down to here. And it's all built. It's remarkably quick once you have a nice compact blueprint like that to just throw it together. Alright, I'm still concerned at the utter lack of copper going up to here. I guess it's because the other stop is prioritized, which I do want it to be since we're actively using that copper to produce things. I think we just need to head down there, and we probably just need to upgrade it so that it works faster, so that it can load quickly enough to do both. Alright, being attacked again. Still not looking like it's an actual issue. Also, apparently one of these capacitors just barely isn't within range. So let's pop a power pole in there and fix that problem. Alright, now we come down here, past the iron. Actually, this might be a problem. I don't think we want that to be moving, because I think it might get confused and put that somewhere else. So let's just... Pretty sure we brought lasers down there, and I also don't think that side has been attacked in ages. Oh, that was a big attack. What happened there? I got to like 24 of the walls. That's a lot of walls. Alright, so down we go. See if we can make this output quickly enough to keep up. Alright, so we have this, and it looks like this is just the same thing that's going on in the other one, where it's doing... Oh boy. Okay, they got through a turret. Looks like just one turret. Alright, this copper, I think we just... Let's just speed module the copper. It'll be fine. We need a lot of copper output very quickly in order for this to be reasonably effective. So let's just get that going. And hopefully that makes a difference. Alright. De Morgan's is like... It's like A and B equals not A or not B or something like that. It's been a while, but it just... So you can just like convert all of one to the other. Alright, up we go. Where did they get through? Did we replace the turret? Yeah, I think whatever turret they got through we replaced. It's a little bit concerning though. It is a little bit concerning. Let's just deal with that biter nest. It's been attacking us for ages. Okay, now see here's the real problem with Boolean logic, is that there are like 50 billion different symbols for it, and like what you're saying is probably correct, but it's probably using different symbols from what I'm used to. Alright, so we need to build a better turret box, because the one we have currently isn't ideal. So we start with a substation. And then we get the turrets are going to be sort of expanded out like that. And we don't want too much of this, because obviously we need the drones to be able to put this together all in one go. So we have something like that, and we're gonna save this as turret box 2. And the problem with this is that I don't have a huge amount of substations. which means I can't just spam these around in quite the same way. Alright, so that all goes. And we need to build. Okay, we need to. So first off, we need a backstop just in case they get excited, because I don't know exactly when we'll pull aggro. So we have that in. Might actually not be rotated right. We might want to have it rotated this way. Alright, so let's just see. We can get up to like there-ish. And then the lasers will deal with them. Okay, so actually what we need is big electrical pole so that we can place these further in advance. Alright, so let's get that. So we have a big electrical pole also back here by the substation. And we want that to be walled in. I don't want to wall myself in with it. And then I guess I'll put a turret back there just in case they somehow flank this. And then we save all this. Now this is going to be turret box 2. And the other turret box 2, which is just this one, we delete. And this turret box 2 we put in there. And now with the big electrical pole we can place this a lot closer. So that goes like that. Yeah, and fortunately it builds back to front, so by the time the lasers are in, all the power is set up to do this. Alright, so that is good, and now we just need like basically just one more forwards, and we were already pretty heavily messing with them at this point. Do we have the supplies to construct another one though? I don't know if we have another. Let's make more substations and big electrical poles just to be sure. And actually we can take that one out. Still have that powered up the old-fashioned way just in case. And then this. Hopefully it'll be able to put it all together fast enough. Alright, it seems to be working. We're definitely getting through the nests now. Though the turret box is taking a fair amount of damage, and I keep stumbling into acid puddles. Alright, yeah, they are definitely dealing with my poor constructor bots here. But at this point there's just one nest left. And I can just spam some grenades at it until it goes away. Alright, there we go. Problem solved. The thinking behind the extra wall inside the box is that I wasn't really thinking. I built this portion of the box first, and then I realized I needed a large electrical pole, so I just stuck one in, and then it wasn't walled up, so I walled it up again. It's not really a huge deal. Theoretically, it could be useful for something, probably, to have like multiple redundant lines of defense, but not the way I'm using it here. Alright, so that cleared out. Do we want to go mess with these? Do we want to go poke some more biters? I think let's just take all this stuff down, and then we'll see if they keep attacking this corner, and if they do, then we'll go deal with some more of them, but hopefully that will at least push them back enough that we don't have to worry about that for a while. And the supplies going into building this are semi-valuable, so I may as well pick them back up. Alright, they left like the primary thing that I wanted to reclaim for absolutely last. Alright, so that is all dismantled. And good to go. Oh, an entity is being damaged back here? What's a biter doing back here? What are you doing here? How did you get here? Okay, well that could have been bad. So first of all, this gun turret isn't connected to ammo, so let's do that, I guess. And second of all, this whole area is obviously just like dangerously under-defended, so let's just pop in a couple laser turrets just to be sure. And since this area is apparently somehow under attack, may as well do that. Alright, so now that's all secure, and now I just need to figure out how to get out of this. Oh boy, that's not good. That is not good. A biter has found an electric furnace. Must be in the new stuff that I've been building. Yeah, oh, it's right in the middle too. Okay, I thought we'd cleared out the biter nests up here, but apparently not. And it looks like the drones are repairing it as it's being destroyed, which is why we haven't lost much yet. Must just be another lone biter or something? What is going on in here? Yeah, literally one biter. Where do these individual singular biters keep coming from? I guess there is a nest up there. But, like, why is there only one? If there's a biter attack, you'd expect it to be like 20. Alright, that looks normal. Apparently laser turrets in the area, so we should be fine. Let's get a radar up here. Do we have radars? Not currently. Let's craft one. And then it looks like right on the edge of my vision there's this biter nest, which is probably causing that problem. So let's get the radar in. Just stick you in there. And apparently we're getting a nice resupply real quick. Don't mind that. Is this doing anything at all yet? No. And somehow also no. How has this train been doing nothing this entire time? How is it still not filled? That takes absolutely ages to fill, apparently. Okay. So you do need to use wiring to do all sorts of fancy stuff with trains. Yep. Yeah, I haven't even like done a single thing with them. I don't think I've placed one yet. So at some point I'll look into that and probably do something with it. Seems like it might maybe be important for the modular designs, or at least helpful. But we'll have to see. Alright, there goes that train. it's doing whatever it's doing. Surely this batch could be important for early spaceships. Good to know. Okay. If I was standing on the other train track randomly, that train would have hit me. Fortunately, I was standing on this one. Got lucky there. And now this train is finally about to leave. And actually, what is this train doing here? Like, what is this? Why are you here? What are you? You have 2 stations. This is iron plate input. Iron plate input, full cargo. Okay. I have no idea what you're doing, but it's definitely wrong. So you have to do that, just the actual opposite. And also, I should give you more stuff. Yeah, I prefer to find stuff out on my own, unless I'm like absolutely stuck on it. It's more fun. Oh, also I need to put that in just so that we get all the inputs from both belts. All right, so now we're making iron gears, and it seems to be working to distribute evenly. Hard to say for sure. Okay, it actually looks like we're only using half of the output belt here. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I think I know how to fix that, though. So if this does... No, that's just the same problem. Okay, if I just do that, then apparently they all output to the right. I really wish there was a way of fixing that, because that's annoying. Because I would like to fill up both sides of the belt when possible. And how do you even do that? How do you get this to just evenly distribute to both sides of the belt? I'm thinking, and it's not coming to me. So if these only output to the right, then I guess we would have to do... No, because then that would just... Yeah, the problem is that it's going to be uneven, right? Yeah, the problem is that it's taking it from the box. So like these inserters are taking it from the box and only putting it onto the right lane, which is not what I want at all. So I need to... I guess if I had 4 boxes here, or maybe just 2. So yeah, if I take that out, obviously it's going to complain at me. And then I put a 4th box in and have that go along like that. How to use a splitter to make half the items go to the left lane, then make that left belt's items go into a single lane. Yep, that does seem like a homework exercise. Alright, so we have this. So these 2 will output and fill the right lane of this. These 2 will output, fill both lanes of that. And so that should theoretically work, although now we have the annoying problem where first of all, these aren't long enough, but second of all, the right lane is still going to get priority over the left, Which I guess isn't really a concern for this, because it'll still fill up the left if the right lane is full. So then I guess the way to solve that would be to do another balancer, just like a 1 to 2. So we take that out, and that, which is apparently redundant anyways. And then you do this. That one has to twist around like that so that it doesn't input wrong. And then that will fill all of those boxes evenly, and the boxes will then fill those belts evenly, and that it'll do for now. At some point I'll come up with a better way of figuring that out, but it should be fine. It's not a huge deal at the end of the day, just like mostly just a mild annoyance. Alright, so we have that. And did I ever make a train for this? I didn't. That's fine. We'll make a train when we need one. In the meantime, this place is technically within range of a biter's nest. Yeah, and again, another seemingly individual biter. Why are they sending one biter over at a time? It seems like a bad idea. Seems like they normally send a couple over. Alright, so let's bring the belts up and zoom out so we can see what we're dealing with. Alright, so now we make our turret box setup. So that is going to go in. And they might detect the laser turrets from here and attack. They probably won't. Alright, so yeah, this box is secure. And now we just creep forward a little bit more, and that's as far as the power line will go. So let's just do that. Okay, that's a problem. I think they saw me and got excited about attacking me. And now we're going to have to build this while it's actively under attack. Alright. Did get the power in temporarily. Yeah, so the power is in, and now we should be fine. Now, as long as the constructor bots can keep it repaired, this biter's nest should go away. Okay. It looks like those worms are outside of the reach. So we're gonna need another one even closer. Oh, I'm stuck in a wall. I'm stuck in a wall and I'm dying. Alright, that was very nearly me dying because I was literally inside of a wall as it was built. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen in this game. Someone put the power pole in. I can't do it myself because I don't want to open my inventory in the middle of all of this. I guess I'll have to, though. Alright, some power pole got put in. Oh, I don't even have that. Alright, so that is in. Oh, are we? Did we burn through all of our capacitors or something? What's going on there? I feel like we must have burned through all of our capacitors or something. This is not working fantastically. Alright. Why is this power connection not working? Yeah, it's just not connected up. It should be. Is the problem Yeah. So again, the problem is that substation isn't there. Alright, we figured that out. So we ran out of large electrical poles, which caused that whole mess. And with all the chaos and the fact that the wires show up even when the poles aren't built, I couldn't see it. Alright, so now there's just this one nest, which I'm just gonna blow up myself. And I may as well also hold down spacebar to shoot it. There we go. Another nest taken down. And now we just have to... Let me guess, we burned through all of our repair packs in that whole incident. Probably, yeah. Alright, I could have sworn I had crafted a bunch of big electrical poles exactly so something like that wouldn't happen. Apparently I didn't, though. Let's do that now. And now we just take all this stuff down. Don't need it anymore. And then we can return back to base without being under threat from that particular group of biters. One medium pole and 1 to 4 turrets and spam it. Yeah, that might be better just because it's faster to build. I'm not entirely sure, like, the exact optimal design for this. Also, another laser turret is being damaged, but that's been resolved. Alright. So now we can go back to nice relative safety. And let's see, what is there to do next? The copper still isn't showing up. It seems like it should be. But both of those are waiting at other copper inputs. Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I'm not an expert on the exact optimal way of doing it. Alright, so what is going on with these trains? Apparently the other one is waiting over here. Oh, so we just need to set these to leave after 5 seconds of inactivity here, right? Add rate condition. Or 5 seconds of inactivity. So now it should go off. And make sure to give you train limit of 1 as well. Actually, I might just give you train limit of 0. Just turn that off. We don't need it anymore. Actually, what we can do, technically, is... Oh. Yeah, so that's... Can we... temporarily disable that? Because we have all these copper plates. We may as well run up. Yeah, the thing with the boss building back to front is that I'm pretty sure they mostly build back to front, but I'm not 100% confident on that. But yeah, I think pushing forwards with turrets is definitely like the best way of doing it. I'm just not sure the 100% optimal way of building the blueprint. Like, is more better? Is less better? It's tough to say. Alright, so I need to... Actually, is this... This isn't set up with the balancing or anything, but should still be fine. Pop that in. And yeah, so something is going wrong here. Some drones picked up some wood. Alright, so now I can throw copper plates into that box. So now those copper plates that we emptied out of that train earlier are not going to go to waste. They will be recycled manually back into the system. Also, logistics system is up to 95%. So that's exciting. We should get that pretty soon. Alright, so this is all built. And now we just have to... Oh wait, did I set up that up there? I did. Yes, I thought I'd forgotten to set up the output for this. Turns out I just put it up here instead of over there. That's fine. Alright, one entity being damaged. Apparently they are still at that corner. Almost have the good chests. Yep, we are 96% of the way there. And at the rate it's going, that might take an annoyingly long amount of time. But and we're also going to have to automate them once we do unlock them. It's going to be a whole process. Alright, so let's head down here. So apparently this corner is still being attacked. Like I saw pings at a damaged turret over here. So I guess those nests are still within range. We're definitely at the point where they're just sort of nests everywhere over here. Oh, train out of fuel. Let's run down and fix that. And then in 3% research from now, hopefully we'll just never have to do that again. Also, it seems like my armor is out of power, which it shouldn't be, but I guess we're doing something that required a lot of power, probably fighting all those biters. Alright, so we need to just run down here, and the trains that ran out of fuel are just on the middle of the track. Alright, down we go. And you. Fuel. We can have 2 stacks. There we go. That should be that. And it looks like they're still primarily loading up this one here, which goes into the old factory. Which is fine, because we do need copper there. And then we're going to have to get more supplies of all of these things for the new factory at some point anyways. So hopefully we can just last a little bit longer on this stuff, and then we're going to have to do some major expanding into biter territory to get more resource nodes. Logistics system, 98%. Yeah, it's not exactly been the quickest research that has ever been done. But we should be just about there, waiting on some yellow science. And it seems like we could place in another one of these if we really wanted to. They're just very, very slow to craft, and they use quite a lot of copper. Actually, I wonder if we could marginally speed it up by making that just a fast inserter. I don't know if that's necessary. Alright, up to 99%. We're cooking. Literally, I think probably literally one more science pack, and we'll be good. Hopefully. If not one, then just like 2 more maybe. Alright, no, there we go. Alright, we get an achievement and we get 3 types of chests. Alright. Is there any of this stuff that we can still do and particularly want to do? So those all require purple. That requires yellow, which is very expensive. Worker robot speed. Oh, that's an important one. Gotta have that. My robots are hilariously slow. Alright, now for the boxes. Active provider chest is just 2 types of circuits and a steel chest. I guess there was a hint that told the difference between those two. Then we have buffer chests, which are don't know again, and requester chests, which I'm pretty sure I know what they do. Let's look at the hints. Alright, requester chest requests items from the logistic networks, and robots will move items to them. And yeah, so that's straightforward. Active provider chest actively tries to push its items to the logistics network. If there are no requests for an item in an active provider chest, they will be moved to a storage chest. Okay. I don't know what we need that for, but sure, I guess for filling up, like, intermediate stockpiles or something. Buffer chests are both a requester and a passive provider. So, okay, so with buffer chests, what you can do is you can have, like, a buffer chest with a whole bunch of stuff, and then instead of having to go all the way to the other side of the map to fill up to grab the, I don't know, belts or whatever that it wants to be placing, it can just go to the nearest buffer chest. Pathing needs work. You just spread bot ports over the dead zones. Yeah, I think you mostly just spread bot ports over the dead zones. If you have a machine outputting a ton of items and you want to make sure there's always room in it to accept more newly made items, you can use active provider chests. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we need to craft these things. And it's just, are all of them the same? Yeah, they're all the same. Alright, that's handy. So now I just have to figure out where I crafted the one type. And then I should be able to just expand it out to make all the others. Which I believe was down here. Yeah, okay. So we just need a couple more assemblers. And hang on, actually, so that's one type of circuit, that's another type of circuit. They're on completely different belts for no apparent reason. But we do have that on the same belt, which is nice. Okay, so we need to bring this belt over here and connect it up with that belt. Then let's chop these trees down. Alright, so now we have that. We can put in, how many of these are there? There are 5 types in total. I'm producing 1, so we can get just the other 4. I never ended up automating the storage chests, but I may as well do that now. Okay, get that fallen tree out of the way. We want this belt to be above ground. And that goes along as well. And then we put all these in like that. And power it up. And then we have purple there. We have yellow. We have green. And we have blue. Alright. So now we're automating all the different types of chests, although this one assembly machine for steel chests might not be enough. So let's see here. I need to find some space for them. Actually, how much is that? That's 1.5 a second, and each of these uses 1.5 a second. So we would theoretically need a whole lot more in order to do all that. So let's move that back and send that over so that we have space. Then, alright, so we can get 4 in at least, which technically isn't enough. And so then we have, let's see, these output there because they just take steel, and then we just have to make sure that all of that's powered up. And that should be almost enough steel to run all of these. And then we just need to, somewhat ironically, put these into passive provider chests. So those all go there. These, I only want like 1 stack each. I'm probably not going to be placing these by the thousands, at least for the moment. So then we power that on, and it should be just about good, at least to... So we're... Because this is probably not running most of the time right now anyways, so this should be enough to fill these 4. And then we need to add requests for all of them. Boxes in boxes, just don't put these boxes in boxes. Yep. Something, something. Bag of holding inside of another bag of holding. Doesn't seem to destroy the universe in Factorio like it would in Dungeons & Dragons, though. So that's nice. Alright. So now we should have a stack of each of them on us at all times. Obviously, once we have crafted them. And that should be fine. Looks like the steel output is enough to deal with this, and this will only be a temporary demand anyways, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, so that should help a lot with the logistics. So let's go somewhere and try to set up something like this so that we can see how the buffer chests and everything works. So hopefully a buffer chest can request multiple types of items. So I can just have like a buffer chest with like a stack of everything that we might need to help things go fast. Alright, this is a nice spot, relatively far from the bus, but it's like midway between the main bus and the new area. So if I were to have buffer chest anywhere, it makes sense for it to be around here. So, buffer chest, logistics requests. Alright. Can I just copy... Actually, can I just call that basic? This would be very handy. Yes. So I can do that. And now all the stuff that would be on my inventory will also be brought to this chest, which obviously is going to take a lot of production to fill, but that's fine. And now Now, instead of having to go all the way to a whole bunch of various places, you can just go here. And this is obviously a lot closer to me than when I'm building the new factory than those will be. And then I might want another one, just like bringing the same stuff from here up to like literally within the immediate vicinity of the new factory, just to save even more time. Man, drones are cool. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. So this is, I guess, just going to fill up. It's going to take ages probably, but it'll happen eventually. Your mind is blown. Yep, it's pretty cool. Now the only thing is I don't know if this will actually... It should... Yeah, it does be available for personal logistics and automated construction. So if I use some items, it should pull from here to bring into my inventory. So that should be handy. Yeah, I had no idea that would work. I just sort of like, hey, these things have names. Maybe you can copy-paste them, because otherwise I'd have had to sit here for like 10 minutes putting all the same numbers in, and that would have been annoying. Instead, we can just do this. And I don't actually know if this is going to be... I'm not 100% confident that this has enough slots, that this chest has enough slots for that, what I just told it to do. So that might be an issue. But if it works, then it would be pretty cool. Alright, so that is... Yeah, I mean, that's going to take ages to fill up, isn't it? Number of available drones, currently 1,200 of 2,000. Yeah, I could look inside, that's sensible. How much... Okay, it does look like there is still a lot of stuff that hasn't been delivered to it. Yeah, it's probably not going to be enough, at least just at a glance. Because once we get second stacks of a lot of the things that I have multiple stacks of, it's going to fill up real quick. But it should at least get reasonably close, right? Like we have all of those, we have all of those. And man, the drones are real busy now, basically filling up an entire inventory from scratch. And this is also, of course, going to cause the factory to be, like, basically every single part of the factory is going to be turned on at this point. Which, I don't know if I have the resources to handle that. Everything going all at once. Yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not. It's not even close. But it should even out eventually, though. So we're just gonna have to go and do something else while that works. So I was thinking of just having another one doing the same thing, just like up in the new factory. Now I might want to leave it for at least a bit so that the things can recover. And then, what can we do with the rest of these? So we have the buffer chest in. The requester chest we want to use for... okay, now I'm here in the power generation. Squeeze around that corner. The requester chest can be used to fill up the buffers. Yep, I'm just gonna wait. We'll leave that. Probably do that. I don't know. Depends how much longer I stream, but we'll get to that eventually. But having one of those in here so that all of my stuff can just fill up instantly would be real cool. And then, of course, okay, I've discovered an issue here. So you are just curved into here doing nothing, while you are sitting here doing nothing. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, if you respawn, I can't get your stuff back. Yeah. So why are you like this? Oh, probably because, first of all, you, who somehow got attached up, never got given the inactivity or 5 seconds of inactivity. There. So now that'll go, and then this one will show up, and it will load up as much as it can, and that should be fine. Alright. So, I actually think this is going to need the 5 seconds of inactivity rule as well. Probably should just have that on both sides. Or 5 seconds of inactivity. So if the train is just sitting there doing nothing, it'll go on to the next stop. Which is probably a little fuel inefficient, but that's fine. And then we can go requester chest there, and I clicked on the grabber instead of the chest. So you just want to grab solid fuel and just keep like a stack of it on hand. Alright, and then we apparently need to actually put a box on the solid fuel. So let's run down here. Where is the solid fuel line? I think it's like in here somewhere. No, apparently not. Pull a train of miles of rail out of your back pocket, hop on and go for a ride. That would certainly be interesting. Alright, so now we just make those passive provider chests. And now we should be good to go. Alright, so now we can go up here and should be able to just pop those fuels, those provider chests onto all of these, and then we should never have to worry about running out of fuel again, as long as we remember to get all of them. So first of all, where was that one that I did? Because it'd be easier to just copy paste settings, I think. Alright, so let's... Do I really need a blueprint for just like 2 things? Let's just copy that and place it around in various locations. Although, alright, we're also going to need the power line to go along with it. So let's copy that and paste it. Just every train station in here can get one of those. There we go. And then we have to go up here. So this one can get that. And what else was there? Are they requesting coal? They are requesting, what's it called? Solid fuel. So this one is not actually a real train station. That's just an illusion. Yep. Now I should actually check just... I assume copy and pasting kept the settings, but I didn't actually confirm that. Yep. Solid fuel requesting. What is trash unrequested? Move items that are not requested by any logistic filter to the trash slots. Yeah, we shouldn't need to do that. Alright. So that should be all set up for those. There's probably some more. Like this one, which needs... I don't know how I managed to miss the one that was literally right next to it. There you go. And we're just gonna... I guess when a train runs out of fuel, we'll figure out what stops it stops at and set that up for them. Alright. Let's see here. Anything else immediately urgent to get done? This new factory is not exactly going quickly. We need more production, basically. The small trains at least fill up relatively fast. The big trains sort of sit there for ages, unloading or loading. So we need to get more stable supply of resources. All right, so this one is stuck. Instead of heading to iron ore output, it's just sitting in a line behind something. Yep, carry bikes and boats on a car or trailer. We used to do that sometimes with my family. That was fun. All right, where was I headed? Down to here, I think. Yeah, so I think I just need to set more of these to be max one train. I think that's the problem that I haven't been doing. Alright, so we just have to head down here and set that up. So that hopefully... Oh, something got destroyed. That is concerning. It's going to be on the other side of the map. Let's just fix this real quick. Enable train limit 1. So that should resolve that problem. Like once this train is done, then the next one will just go along. And this train is... Oh, this train is never going to empty, is it? Oh, the 5 seconds of inactivity should work. Yeah, so let's do that, because this is a 4-long train going into a stop that's only meant for 2 cargo spots. So that will definitely be an issue. I think we just need to put 5 seconds of inactivity just everywhere. Just to make sure that weird stuff doesn't happen with the trains being of different sizes. Alright, now we have to go figure out... It's going to be hard to tell where that destroyed turret was, because it was obviously just replaced. But we need to find it, because I don't like it when my turrets get destroyed. I'd really much rather they not. It was over here. It must still just be this corner. But I don't know how much more to defend that corner. I mean, it's already pretty fortified. Alright, so let's go up here. Alright. How is this... What is even getting destroyed? And like, how? I'm not even seeing, like, damaged indicators before it gets destroyed. Probably just because I'm missing them, but still. Oh, is it that? No, don't do anything about that. We don't need those. Alright. Let's see, I could go out and take out another biter nest, but it is 4:45, so right about the time where I typically end my stream. So thanks everyone for hanging out. We had a lot of fun, got a lot done. The new factory is almost starting to do something, and we're also almost through fixing all of the various train problems with it. And then, let's see. So tomorrow I'm going to be playing Satisfactory again, where we are just putting the finishing touches on our adaptive control unit factory and moving on to the next phase. And then we'll be back to Factorio on Thursday, where hopefully we expand out this modular factory so that it actually does something useful, like, I don't know, create science or something. So if you're interested in that, and make sure to stop by then. I stream every weekday from 2 to 5 Eastern Time, so yeah, make sure to follow if you haven't already. And thanks everyone for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. Bye!